Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Please go ahead.
Oh, I'm scrambling right now. It's like because my computer kept crashing. I lost everything on my hard drive, everything from like last season, everything I had written. I mean, my hard drive actually melted and caught fire. There's flames in my computer.
That's not good.
No. And so, like, I was scrambling and I finally got it together and all running a couple days ago. But it's like I've got notes on paper. I've got notes on an old ancient laptop. I've got notes I'm trying to salvage on this computer. And so I'm trying to scramble, put it all together. I have been using Scrivener. I do like that.
One of the things that I like to do with the Scrivener, I do it normally once a month or before I relocate to a new location, is I will just put the Scrivener files into the 7-Up zip, or whatever it's called, and mail them to myself.
Yeah, I mean, I only ran the one shot last campaign, so I wasn't too worried of like, I have to save this. This is important. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's a habit.
Yeah.
I just get in a habit because mailing it to yourself, as long as it's under 25 megabytes, which until you start adding pictures and typing your ass off, and oh my Christ, now I've got 3 different Scrivener files, and since I was using Google to mail to myself, it started going, we'll go. Do you want read-write access? Because we're going to save it on this thing, and then just give them a link. And I'm like, bummer. But,
yeah, so that's what I got to do. Is just I even got stuff on my work computer because I've got just a Word document on my, So I'm like, hey, that's a good idea. Jot it down, But
today is my pulling together after 4 days of running shit.
Right. Understood.
Yeah, well, because I've only got 2 more sessions that I'm running, because you're running the 2 of them, and I'm running 2. And so and then after that is another about a month off for just writing and shit.
Yeah.
And right now I'm still ahead of the curve, but like after the 1 month of running, that's another month off, and then I'm back in UK, and I'm not sure how long I want to stay there because I know I can't get 3 months out of 1 month of prep.
Right.
It's just my prep is too goddamn slow for that.
Right. So, yeah. For me, it's I hate to say it, I still like pen and paper. Just taking notes on pencil.
That's how the ideas come out, unless you've rewired your brain.
Yeah. No, that's what I do. So I'm just sitting here. I got paper over there, and then when I try to organize it, I mean, obviously I haven't ran that much online like this, type of format. So I'm still trying to organize how I want to keep it all on the desktop. You know what I mean? Like, do I want to do like a general outline in like Word, and then use Scrivener for my notes and categories, if you will?
I'd put it all into Scrivener, because once you get used to it, because it's tempting to do it in Word, but like, for example, with Scrivener, because normally you have like scene beat, stuff like that, and you can break all that shit out in Scrivener and have subfolders and everything.
Right.
One with the outline and then subfolders under it. Holy shit! Once you get used to using, because I didn't automatically get into it. I had to.
Not intuitive, because we don't write like screenwriters and book writers.
Now, which is probably unfortunate, but it's now that I've gotten it, it makes it a lot easier. Although sometimes I'll still find myself putting everything into one document on Scrivener, and then I'll go through and break it up into the different scenes or whatever, and then just make subfolders. But because that's easier if it's like they're here and then they jump to something else instead of just going in order that way, or it's less scrolling through the Word document.
Right. And see, I guess the thing is I'm right. Well, yes, I'm writing for the adventure. Just to let you know, like a heads up is, I don't care if you finish it. This area is a sandbox. I'm running 2 days this week. Does that make sense? I'm running a couple days in a month or so. So I don't care how far you guys get. It's going to be more about time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so it's still right now. Right now, this character's still into figuring out where he fits in and exploring. That's or I might not explore. I might just meet up with somebody. Now, one question I had is you'd ask for feedback after the mods. Now, was that feedback for like what I think I'm going to do next, or feedback in GMing techniques and stuff? Okay.
Both.
Okay.
No, I appreciate that. It's like this is, like I said, it's sandboxy. I've got a lot more in my mind than what you guys are going to be able to achieve in 2 days. I know that.
Sure.
So if you guys happen to just deviate left and just keep taking left-hand turns, that's fine. Yeah. But I need a little bit more time to prep that left-hand turn.
Well, yeah.
I've actually got an in-game mechanic, so you guys know when things are not available yet. But for the first session, everything should be available. Yeah. Now, for the GM notes here for you, a couple questions, and this could be GM topic type stuff that maybe we could either edit or have another discussion about. As you know, we don't play a level-based system. As you remember, I ran the Apocalypse Now theme movie just for nostalgia.
Yes.
There's also the Time Bandit Giant. I don't believe in scaling.
Right.
I gave you an attack helicopter, D-100 rockets, whatever. It's up to you. Do you believe in scaling? In other words, there should be, if the bad guy is so bad and you know he's bad, like an attack helicopter or a 10-story giant, you don't run up to it.
Not well. That goes back to what I refer to as trying to train the D&D out of people.
Yeah.
Because in D&D you get challenge ratings, and challenge ratings are, it's like playing chess against somebody who gets less pieces than you do.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that you're for sure going to win, but depending on challenge rating, they may only have half the pieces and shit.
Lateral thinking, and I agree with that. By God, maybe the giant just wants something.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of different ways to do it. Like, for example, the death penalty that's in this campaign is fairly mild, especially if you don't have any high skills and stuff. I mean, minus 2 off all the stats, and there's some sand loss. And but then it affects any skills that are like, I think, over 80 or something like that.
That's pretty minor.
Yeah. So it knocks people back toward that, but it's better than just like, you die. Well, here's a new character type. Because I got sick of I want death to be super. I want it to be something the PCs really strive to avoid, but I don't want it to be like, oh, you died. All those plots that I had for your character are gone.
Right.
Now, having said that, there are a couple places that if you fuck up, then you're gone. Like if you're trying to walk, then you should know better than to walk the pattern if you don't have
ready
hero points and some good stats and stuff. Stay the fuck off the pattern.
Right.
But unless you're feeling super lucky, or just don't give a shit if you make it or not.
If you don't have a choice at that point, yeah.
I don't know. I also there's so much different stuff that can be done within the campaign that some players look at it as a negative and some as a positive, because there's too many skills for anybody to get them on. Some people, like I still remember Travis, a guy, good gamer I was playing with a while ago. He was wanting to try to figure out how to consolidate the skills, and I'm like, no, I want so many skills that nobody's going to get them all. Period.
Right.
If you don't have the skills, either maybe it'll be in our PC. Maybe you can hire an NPC who I'll fucking blow the rolls for.
Sure. No, I get it. And I don't mind it, because I'm thinking, back when we started breaking away from like the Torg system, you know what I mean? And we started going down back to the percentile roots, that you and I both like, I like a lot of skills too. And, what I think the player play style will develop the character, in-game character. Those skills will rise to the top because that's what you're always doing.
Right.
So if you play a guy who panics and always draws his gun, by God, your quick draw is going to be really high.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the end. So
I completely agree. I was out advertising the game because I'm still looking for a couple more players.
sure.
Right? And some guy was like, "Oh, no classes. I don't want that." And I put up the Simpsons meme of freedom, horrible freedom, when he hit the ants, and they're all like, "No." It's just baffling to me that some people's thinking is so ingrained. It's like without classes and stuff, because I think it's also part of the dick measuring.
Yeah.
You have a shitty class. I have a better class. I have a prestige class, whatever.
Right. No, I agree. And we've had this conversation where you could be a first-time player and you could be playing with super mega powerful people and still be the hero of the day. You could still save everybody with some creative thinking, quick wit, anything. Say the right words.
Even basic fighting stuff, like numerous times I've had somebody with like 60% in weapon skill inflict the last damage on the bad guy and kill the bad guy before it could do more stuff, or maybe they're just draining hero points off the bad guy.
Right. Or even like you were saying there, you could have a 10% in a weapon skill. Everybody else could have 100%, but if they keep rolling fumbles and you keep rolling low, you're gonna get it. It's dice, fate.
Yeah, super rare for that, but yes.
Yeah, I know, but it is possible.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I know. I'm very curious to see what you're going to have as far as the campaign and stuff. I think part of I think there's a couple of different reasons. Correct me if I'm wrong. A couple of different reasons why you're wanting to GM. One of them is the swimming in somebody else's sewer.
Yeah.
Thing, because but like the last session when you were with Jason and you were doing stuff, a lot of the PCs, they don't go to those zones anymore. They're like, yeah, we messed around there and did stuff and then forgot about it, and that toy's done, go somewhere else.
Right.
Or the zone's now breaking apart because of our really stupid shit, and that we're scared to do what's needed to fix it, for example.
Right. And I could be way wrong, but I'm also still trying to discover how my character is today. We remember him of yesteryear where he can jump out of an airplane without a parachute and land okay, superhero landing. But, he's not that guy anymore. But in his head, he is. That's like, oh, yeah, you see the tripwire? I go through the door. I know it's booby trapped. It'll be fine. I won't feel it. I got lucky. But what was nice is I never played with Yana. And so I know you missed part of it, but
you guys did some great role play together.
You missed some too. So like Suede and Mildred were talking. Mildred's like, my daughter. And I'm like, I have a daughter. She's like, you do? And I think Yana was like, what? You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, what happened to her? I telling her the story and, and I think I actually started poking at her in a way that actually Yana's face was dropping out of character. You know what I'm saying? It was I don't know if you noticed it or not, but she's like, I'm a badass, knife fling, psychopathic killer. I'm like, no, you're not. You got to hurt him there. I'm like, this is just a facade. You're just hiding your pain. And she's like, stop it.
Oh yeah, that's some good stuff. I mean, this is so different than that. You don't normally encounter those kind of scenes in the war gaming that most people call role playing.
Right.
And then it's all about I inflict this much damage every round and I can move this fast and I got magic items coming out my ass.
No, in this campaign, I mean, the players could just sit there and talk amongst themselves. I never met this character, never met this player even. And yet we could have gone on for an hour or 2 hours of just getting to know each other through role playing as our characters,
That's one of the things I really like about the system, because you haven't done online gaming before this, correct?
Correct.
Pros and cons, go.
Pros, more dynamic players from around the world with a whole different mindset and mentality. Con, just kind of that whole in-person camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Sitting around that table and eating Cheetos. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Although looking back at all the fuckery that went on with that kind of stuff, it's like, this is cool, because if somebody's fucking with their phone,
right?
If they have the decency to keep it out of the camera, at least, and just kind of, I don't have to get pissed about that.
Right.
I figure, maybe they're thinking hard, maybe they're taking notes, maybe they're playing on their phone, maybe they're just having a fucking senior moment, whatever.
Right.
But also, just the biggest thing this overcomes, because it's a very different kind of campaign setup when you've got like a dozen, 15 people, however many we've got, and they're feeding into the hopper 3 at a time when their schedule allows. That's better to me than, everybody called off because they've got real life shit coming up of my group, which happened way too goddamn much.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, understood. And there's a lot of advantages, but swimming in other people's poop, and we talked about it, the sewer is, Jason and I are trying to take the approach of, we'll revisit these zones that people have abandoned, because there's obviously going to be some kind of void in them that the players came and caused. Usually it's the villains that come and cause some kind of void for the PCs to fill. For us, we're trying to fill the void of what the other PC left behind,
Well, yeah, there's I think what it is in some of the zones is they went there, they did some mods, and then they were like, that's that. And then they left, which is fine, but they're depending on how much time somebody wanted to actually spend there. Like right now, Jay's just wanting to go set up a bunch of stuff and like make the zone self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Cool. In a campaign like this, I would probably have at least some stashes of gear and money set up all over the place. And you guys haven't been in since season 1 or whatever, but the people that have, they have no sympathy for, because they never set that shit up. They were like, I've got all my shit on me, and it's like, you lose some of your shit.
Well, that's the thing too. Is so yes, my character's not tied to gear, and I understand that, and I accept that, because I have suffered those kinds of losses. Because while this is a multi-layered plane type game, we played. My character originated from a time travel campaign where it was very similar, and I did establish a few stashes in that campaign. So Jason and I both have that safeguard. We both want to have stashes. We just want to have different kinds of stashes that go about it differently. His is far more complicated than mine. I just go find, I look to wherever the tallest tree is in the town, and I bury a stash there, or just whatever. I could do something simple, just a few supplies, a couple days worth, go bag.
He wants to have lawyers and shit in the different zones,
So he doesn't want to. His idea of the game is not the same as mine, but we get along very well out of game.
Super well.
And so therefore I'm happy to support him as a friend and whatever he needs because I don't know what I want yet. So I'm happy to support him. Does that make sense? And then I know he'll support me when I'm like, I want to do this. Then he'll resource it to death, for me.
Well, I think that some of the people have a problem in that they feel that they're left behind because they're not able to game as much as other people, which I understand it, but it's their own schedule and stuff, or their own lives that are making that happen. As opposed to there's because like if we had 2 or 3 more people, I would pretty much stop recruiting. If somebody showed up and said, you know, I want to play, yeah, good luck on getting on the schedule, but, you know, give it a shot, because people are constantly like coming and going. We've had people that were really happy, but then they got a new job,
Sure.
and then they had to drop, or they got married, and that's that, you know. They'll be back in a couple of decades, you know.
Right. Yeah, like me. No, it's the type of thing though. Yeah, we're not in our 20s anymore. You know, we're going to start on, oh, it's a 3-day weekend. I'm going to come to Logan's house on Thursday night right after work. Stop
those are good times.
Yeah, we play for 3-4 days, and then we'd all call in on Monday because we're gonna still keep playing. You know, it's like
yeah. We everybody's got responsibilities and can't do that anymore. Yeah. But it's another weird complaint that I heard is somebody thought that this system was too complicated. And I was like, it's simpler than 5e. I mean, there's like, if there was a printed book, it'd be like 30 pages or something. And I know 5e takes up more than 30 pages.
It's not even 30 pages of rules. It's
maybe some pictures.
No, it's simple. The GM says, roll a perception, and you just click your perception button, and that's it. It tells you succeed, fail. That's it. Yeah, you know.
Well, I think it's because it's really different than if it was like it's 5e, but this is different. I'd be beating players to death with sticks who are trying to jump into it, you know?
Right. And you know what? Even if that's too complicated, they can just simply click the little dice button at the top for percentile. And it's like, oh, I got a 53%. I can't click perception, but I could click the percentile and it'll still tell you if you know.
Well, with the sheet that Freddie built.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Holy crap. I mean, I love that there's no more math. You don't have to go, I made it by half. You know, there's no dividing or anything like that. It shows you. So, yeah.
So, yes, that's one of the reasons. I know we kind of deviated there, but yeah, no, that's definitely one of the reasons why I wanted a GM. Did you have any other ideas on why I wanted a GM?
I think that in your personal life, because you have, like in the old days, you were a leader of the group, but now you're also a leader of the family. You're a leader of all these kids and stuff. And I think that and by the way, props on fucking Vince. Vince is, I can see you in him. I mean, I can think of no better compliment as far as gaming goes. I don't know about any of his other personal life or his weird LSD habit or whatever, if he's into anything. I don't know. But as far as gaming goes, I was like, God damn. I mean, he's like, what, 14, 15, something like that?
He just turned 15.
I mean, shit, I wasn't that smart at 15.
No.
I may not have been that smart at 20. I don't know. But it's like, Jesus Christ. And that was something else that baffled me when they were like, the system's too hard. I'm like, we've had 3 14 or 15-year-olds make characters and do the game and stuff. And like,
yeah, I know.
So, but I didn't get a response after that for reasons.
No, he's a real good kid. He's typically a honor roll. You know, he's learning like 2 or 3 languages. Both my boys are like really big into the languages. He's taking German now, Vince is. So you can mess
Unfortunately, German's a language with absolutely no future.
No.
Not at all.
But he likes it. He likes the way it sounds. I mean, good enough. If he keeps him interested and happy, let him do it. There's the worst thing he could be doing to be happy.
Yeah. Chinese and Russian. Those are the good ones now, I think. Yeah. Arabic, if he wants to like go over there, which is often dicey.
Yeah. My oldest, he'll game, but he's not a gamer yet. He's doing what I did, so I'm okay with that. He's in the JROTC now. He wants to go Air Force, and he picks up languages very quickly.
Really?
Yeah, and you know, because he wants to be a linguist and this and that, and you know.
Do you know? I know. I actually know how the language school thing works because I tried to get into that. They make you take a test, with, and this is through all the different forces. They make you take a test with nonsensical language, right? Basically, how fast can you pick up this nonsensical language? And if you don't pass the test, then you can retry in a certain amount of time. But until you pass that test, you're not getting in. But then once you get in, I think it's in like California, and it's a 1-year thing, and you will come out being completely fluent. That's all you do for like a whole year is that language, whatever one that they want you to learn, which these days will be Arabic or Farsi. I'm pretty goddamn sure. So I think that the second of possibly 3 reasons that you're wanting to GM is it's like you're wanting to expand your leadership role, not just with this group, but gaming within the family, and all that stuff. That's my guess there. And then I think the third reason is I think you haven't. I mean, GMing for your people that you know well, like the family and stuff, is a very different experience than gaming with, well, I'd call most of our gamers at least semi-professional, if not professional type gamers. You know, I mean, we don't really have too many that are like, whatever. You know, oh, Jesus Christ, I still remember that guy. Haunts my fucking nightmares. But so I think the third reason is like an artistic expression type thing.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, so that's the 3 reasons I think that you're. Did I miss any of them?
No, that's pretty much it. That, and I do want a secure spot so I could just kind of play with Jay and
Well, for that you only I'm talking the expanded GMing schedule as opposed to I GM once a season so I can get on the advanced sign up list.
Right.
Which some people are not doing, and it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
You don't want to. That's whatever.
Well, and the other part of it too is Jay and I talked about this. Just so you know, Jay and I's friendships have actually really grown in the last year. We talk pretty much once or twice a week on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we're both running to the grocery store, so we'll just chit chat on the drives type of deal.
Got it.
But no, you made a comment, and I'll go back to the original part here in a second. You made a comment like, oh, I'm getting burnt out, or I get burnt out by the end of the season. I mean, you're probably one of my longest running friends. And so therefore, you know what, if you're getting burnt out, I'm happy to take a little bit of that load for you. There's the other reasons also, don't get me wrong, but it's also a payback. You know, I'd like to pay you back for all the years of GMing and work.
Cool. And it's appreciated.
And just my brain works a little different. You know that. I could still go back 20 some years ago, and I feel bad about this fact is you made a comment one year like, oh yeah, it's my birthday coming up. I'd really like to get this book. And one of our other gamers that we gamed with, won't mention a name, is like, I'll get it for him. And I'm like, all right. So I put it on my mind, and then you didn't get it. And I felt bad about that. It mattered to me, though. I still remember. Why would you remember somebody not getting a birthday present 30 years ago? Because my brain works that way, you know?
My brain doesn't. I wish my memory skill was much higher. I would be a much more devastating GM to bring in like little things that matter, just trickle them in and stuff. As it is, I
wish my memory skills a lot lower. There's so many things I want to forget.
So many flashbacks, so much PTSD. I don't know. I think though that I like the scheduling and stuff because I mean, you've got, if it's you and Jay, that's cool. I think you should get select 3 people you want in your cabal and rotate between them where possible when signing up or something. I mean, occasionally if you get somebody else in there, that's okay, because I think a big part of this campaign is exploring, but also because we've got so many different gamers, and like you'd said, they're from all over the world, which you don't get in face-to-face games ever.
Yeah.
I think getting to meet people like Yana and stuff, who she is a surprisingly good gamer, although she games so much differently than anybody else, because
Yeah.
hers is like more emotional, more mental, more, and she doesn't. She kind of participates in some of the things, but then sometimes she'll just come up with something, and then she'll begin like poking at the threads and stuff, like the whole thing that she fell in love with a replicant and all that stuff.
Yes.
There's a big complex story and stuff. I did not see that coming at all, because a little bit of a history on it. Like she had really irritated a bad guy who was a lady owner of a place that made replicants for off-world use and stuff, in like the cyberpunk ring or whatever. And so the lady's like, okay, I really hate the character Jan's playing, so I'm going to have all the replicants look just like her.
Gotcha.
And she produced like 30 or 40 of them, just like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah,
and
gotcha.
she would send them after her to try to assassinate her. And then she gets with Doc Fulton. She's like, I want one of them to love me. And Doc Fulton's like, the fuck is wrong with you? And so then he had to figure out, how do I reprogram this and stuff, because turn kill love, And then Yana ended up getting plastic surgery, but she's still with this lady who looks exactly like. And then the lady they found a way to get her to a different zone, and then they found a way to make her into a human and all that. And there's like a season or two of what in the fuck is going on with my campaign. It's not really in my control. I'm just kind of riding on top of it, going, woohoo! And that was just kind of a whim of hers, but unlike a lot of the whims that some of the players come up with, which is more like along the lines of, how do I get more powerful?
Right.
Which, play more.
Right.
That one caught my imagination. It's like, because then what does it mean to be alive? What is love? Can love be programmed? And all that kind of stuff. And then when she became a human, it's like, okay, she's also now hooked into some sort of other weird power that the PCs have pretty much, they haven't forgotten it exists. They've been like not paying much attention to it.
Right.
And it's stuff that's like, why wouldn't you try to find out how to deal with this? It's like, it's not current, and there's so much other shit that's current that it's getting pushed out of their minds.
Right. No, I agree. I like that. And I'm going to have to jump around here for a second, just so try to keep up here. It's a little crazy. So I agree with that. I like that fact. And Yana, when we had or Mildred, when we had our talk earlier in game, actually started influencing me as a player. And I noticed that, like, because I said I didn't have a hook for my character yet, like, what am I going to become vested in? You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, then I was talking to that boy about architecture and this and that. And because my character is a different mind set in a different body with different skills, I had him start to think a little differently, and I was using the wrong words on purpose, and I'll explain. Remember when I was sitting with the boy, I'm talking about architecture and see those arches and, this and that. And I'm like, maybe they need architects. Maybe we could rebuild, maybe, like weapons of war and mass destruction. I had him kind of going back to his old mindset, like a little confused. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Because he was always about war and destruction, and now he's like, maybe he's trying to think more because he's got these architect skills and engineering. Maybe he's going to start trying to rebuild these zones that have been destroyed. Does that make sense? So he's like, I was trying to morph a little bit in character.
Unfortunately, the players know what one of their big giant arcs is, but they either don't have the skills to pull it off, or they don't want to develop the skills to pull it off, because they're absolutely terrified of it. And it's like, because it could result in them being hunted,
right,
like by Amberites and shit.
Well,
which is a hell of a plot hook.
Right. No, I agree. And I wasn't going to get too deep into that, but I could glance over it. So my character is very much a loyalist and a purist to the throne, if you will. So therefore, I thought it was a really cool scene when you had that opening scene for me, Bran talking to me, this and that. I'm like, I'm trying to remember. And I'm like, Amber spawned from Logris, from the other side. So actually, that is my deeper root.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Brand was in with some guys too.
Yeah. No, he was. And, and I'm like, well, why isn't Merlin here as an example? He was both. And I'm like, where's that little fucker? We were, I don't remember if you remember the last campaign. We were friendly. He helped me in the beginning. He gave me my first trump deck, that kind of thing, But it was like we're always looking like, I don't know about that guy, and he's kind of like, I don't know about that guy. You know what I'm saying? It was like,
oh yeah. So there's so much stuff going on, and people have been messing up a lot of shit and doing a lot of like things that's like, pretty happy you're not dead. And so Freddie, I liked it because what I did was I went on to Amber Facebook groups and stuff, and I was like, here's the situation. They were like, here's some options and stuff. And I was like, oh, I like him just losing his hand because Benedict's too busy to just come and fucking kill him. Because doing what Freddie did, even though he was not technically in control of his character the whole time, although he kind of set up, he got himself into a bad position and kind of got away from him for a little bit. That's pretty much a good way to do suicide by Benedict.
Well, no, suicide by Swade. It's like, I don't care if you're a bastard. I don't care if you're pure blood, because he always was a loyalist. Even if this guy was on the outs with Amber, even if his dad didn't even acknowledge him, I don't care. Because it's like killing one of my own kind. Does that make sense?
Well, that's one of the things that Yana is really, really good at, is like, because how I feel about PvP in a campaign.
Right.
It pretty much is a good way to tear apart your own group.
Exactly.
But Yana is good at PvP without doing that. She just inconveniences the other players.
Right. Like, psychological warfare. Yeah.
That too. But also things like leaving freshly skinned corpses in your basement.
Yeah.
It's not like she calls the police. She just, I've had my fun, and then wanders off. And just imagine coming home and finding that and going, now, if I don't clean this up expertly, I could get in trouble, or at the least I'll have that rotting smell. I mean, so it's a big inconvenience. Plus, you get a little sand loss. Oh, look at all the corpses and shit. So I think that she, or she'll leave like threatening notes and stuff. She doesn't act on it, but she leaves weird notes and stuff. And like you said, the psychological warfare and stuff. That's the way to do fucking PvP in my campaign.
Right. And, I've pulled this off before with other things. Just no, I would never actively just go after Freddie. But you know what? If I might not help him either.
Right.
But I don't know. I wasn't there for the whole situation. But, the thing is I made it very clear where my loyalties lie to him, to Pete. But I know he's not going to be thinking about that, because he also has the no PvP defense. He knows I'm not going to act out against it, but that's okay.
Even doing something like, if somebody an Amberite shows up and you go, and run off.
Yep.
And leave him because you're not really scared, but you're like, I'm leaving him to his fate.
Yes. Exactly. I just get down on all fours behind him like this, and
But I mean, there's
contact lens over here. Yeah.
Well, that's, I think, one of the downsides for this campaign, especially for a new player, is if they look at the boards and find like literally masses and masses of stuff, like on the in-game boards and stuff like that. And even the players who are interested in finding it out, it's a chore for them to go and read it.
Right.
But I sometimes like when you get the note taker, the problem solver type players on, sometimes a good chunk of the session can just become a briefing that they're giving each other, which is something else I've never seen in any games I've played.
Yeah, so that's true too, and like I said, Jay and I talk a little bit out of game, but that's where we're different. He's got long-term plans and goals, and he's very detail oriented, and I come up with the fast on the cuff. So he'll be like, "Hey, I got this problem." I'm like, "Have an orphanage."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And just like, a lot of the things he's acting on are just ideas I threw out there. So.
Exactly. Well, yeah, you guys are making a very good team. I think you're the biggest struggle that Suede is having right now is that he has to figure out, as you said, what do I want to do?
Who am I? Yeah. Who am I now?
Who am I now?
I was.
Who am I going after? What is my purpose?
Right. And I like that road of discovery because, there's going to be some dead ends. There's going to be some falls. There's going to be some, chutes and ladders. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is one of the games where, because like in a lot of games, exploration means hex clearing. And I have actually tried hex clearing in this, and I discovered it is boring as fuck.
I remember waking up one morning because when you used to live stream it or like YouTube stream it or something like that or whatever, I would have it on my phone and I'd wake up like my alarm and I would click on, like when I was getting ready in the morning, and I remember like, you'd give a number like 372 or something like that. You see two guys on flying carpets and sunglasses or something like that. Yeah, see? Yeah.
You do fucking remember.
Even though, you and I haven't been in contact for so many years, don't think I didn't, read your blogs and keep up on you, so.
Oh, Jesus. My blog is just a grind to get through because, I deride anybody who has like 5 or 10 blog posts and they're like, I have a blog. Yeah, fuck you.
No. It was one of those things that honestly, it'd be like once a month or whatever. I'd be like, let's see what the Logan is up to. You know what I mean? Like slow day at work type of thing. And just.
I'm glad you got back into contact and stuff. It's the weirdest thing because a lot of people who I gamed with in the past are now turning up again.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to game with you some more. It's like, okay.
Well,
I wish we also had some fresh blood to go, I don't understand any of this shit.
That's why I bred some of my own, fresh blood.
Yeah.
So, but they're getting to the age now, like Vince is at the age now, I feel like he could jump in on something a little more adult themed. My number 3, he really wants to play, but he's not there yet. You know what I'm saying? Just for the commitment. I don't even know if he could sit here for 4 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
How old is number 3?
He's in 7th grade, so he's like 12. I think.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. 12? I don't know.
I don't know kids' ages, and I vaguely remember being one, but that's about it.
And you'll laugh. I call him number 3 because we actually didn't have a name for him, and he was the 3rd child, and it took us 3 days. It's like we had him home from the hospital, like no name. The hospital is calling us every day. We have to put a name on the birth certificate. I'm like, do you? I'm not going to tell you anything.
In South Korea, they have a really old custom where I think it's the 100-day naming ceremony because they made sure that not to waste a name on a kid who was going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. It's like, ooh, okay. Better than the gender reveal bullshit that, people are getting into in the States now.
And then they still change their mind when they're 8 anyways and get surgery.
Now the U.S. is going through some weird stuff now. I mean, and I don't know. It's even started to become a thing within the gaming community where it's like some people don't want to experience different things like spiders, and so
and like I noticed like probably about a decade ago when like in the books is. When you don't know the sex in a written form, it's always he. It takes the male. That's what we grew up with. No, it's like, and then she does this, she does that. Like, there's no men in this book. It's like.
Well, I don't know. I because I'd gone through so much of my life just reading he and not really assigning a gender to it. It's just like it's always kind of jarring to me. When it's like she, and it's like,
that's a character
that was introduced that I forgot about, as opposed to generic character. But no, I mean, like, I think it's called like consent in gaming, and for a couple months it was like this huge deal because they're giving out free PDF, and it's like you have as a GM you're expected to ask, are spiders okay with you? No, okay, no spiders. What about worms? And and I'm thinking, I don't have any players that are that fragile.
No.
I mean, there's some things that I don't do, like females getting raped right out. Because like murder's okay, sure, because gamers have been murdered before.
Yeah,
but some have been traumatized, with rape or something. So I leave. I mean, now if one man is wearing a strap-on chasing another man around, that's okay in my book because it's played for laughs rather than. And then he got butt fucked relentlessly,
Right. Like stack HBO porn, and
Oh yeah. Well, that was a funny scene where the players were just like sleeve stack porn. All of them sit down, lined up on the couch.
I sit on the end of the couch or on the edge of the bed watching this.
Let's see how this turns out, because I'm curious how do they do that?
In real life, if you were walking by and saw that, I mean, people will just stop to watch kittens play with a ball as long as it's on TV. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is like Nature Channel Star Trek version. It's like,
yeah. I mean, it's like, oh, how about that? Now we've learned something new today.
Like, I really want to look away, but I just can't.
But I mean, I like for a while there. The players would hang out in zones with TVs, and so I developed TV shows. Yeah. And then when they turn on the TV, I always had something ready.
There you go. Like little snake.
Yeah, little vignettes and stuff. And the players were like, "Let's not watch any more TV. It's fucking disturbing here."
Yeah. So, just a couple more things I wanted to throw out there for you for when I'm GMing. Sure. I just want to make sure you're okay with this. And it'll actually probably mess with Freddie too, which you'll like, because you're like, oh yeah, I like chaos. I'm like, all right. I had a couple things written into my campaign already. When you enter the zone, I was going to
spoilers though. No spoilers.
No spoilers. But I want to make sure you're okay with this as a GM, or as your campaign. Does that make sense? Your overall setting, because this can actually.
Dude, if you want to send us to the courts of fucking chaos, I don't care.
No, I'm not going that far. I'm taking a whole different spin, which you may have done in the past. I have no clue, but because I didn't. But like, let's say when I start the campaign, what if there's a residual reset?
What do you mean?
Like all of a sudden, Freddy's got his hand back.
Oh, it will amuse you what he does next.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I don't
drop that fucker off again.
Okay. But are you okay with that? Because I'm starting a new sub campaign, if you will, and it's like a fresh start. Does that make sense? Where players can get their fresh start, their clean start, but you
can, but he has good reason to chop off his hand immediately.
Absolutely. Which is fine. I'm okay with that. But there's also an in-game mechanic on why that would be happening. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, that's the thing, is that if somebody is GMing in this, because of the way the world is set up, if you said, okay, everybody is inexplicably green colored, it would make sense in this campaign.
Right. I'm just letting you know, I've got at least 2 to 3 reasons backing what I do and why.
Great. Yeah.
Makes sense. So I'm just throwing that out there for you. Just don't think it's all willy-nilly. There's thought behind everything.
Well, you could either use the same kind of mechanics as I do or different ones. Like, for example, in my different zones, I have like different levels of technology that work, and different levels of magic that work. And unfortunately, my character is really tied up in magic because that was more than half his starting points. Just chunk.
Yeah. That's why when we talked about it, I'm like, do you want to play high tech, low tech? This is before you even changed. I know Lucy as a whole is magic, but where you're starting, it's all even. It's 3-3. So
3-3 is going to be rough because that means my spells are going to have about 1 in 3 chance of going. Because I'm basically a new character.
What's your willpower? Don't you have to roll willpower?
Yeah, but my willpower is like 11 or 12, something like that.
Oh no. I apologize. I'm thinking of a different thing I had written. So no, it'll be times 5. It'll be balanced. That's the highest, right?
No, unlimited. Here's the
Yeah,
full scale. It's either times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or unlimited. Because even like in the zone you were just at, where it went from unlimited to times 5, that means that for most people, it's now become a coin flip, whether magic works or not, right? And so that completely is devastating their entire economy now.
Gotcha.
Unlimited is the highest, and then going on the other one, underneath times 1 is no, and then under that is destroyed.
Gotcha.
So like there's some zones now that before were no, but since magic went down another notch, if a magic item is brought in there, it's gone. The magic is gone. The item might go away or not, but it's definitely not magic anymore. So it has the full spectrum.
Gotcha. Because see, when I said 3-3, I meant it's balanced. It's even. I was thinking like on a scale of 5. So yeah, it'll be unlimited here where you're at. So
groovy. With tech, with tech, what I'm doing is I'll figure out the tech level. Like for example, in Cyberpunk, it's usually like unlimited tech, like the spaceship zone, Guri. Yeah. That's pretty much unlimited. But in some zones, it's like up to say 1950s tech is unlimited, but past that is some sort of multiplier.
Right.
So if you want to bring in a laser pistol, maybe you're rolling will times 3 or will times 5 or something like that, or will times 1. But yeah, so that gives the GMs a lot of flexibility, because if you're like, I don't care what you bring in, which is one of the things that I like about having a lot of different zones, is that if the players go, we're going to go get laser pistols and bring them over to this agrarian thing and arm the natives and teach them how to use it or whatever, fine. I mean, there's also in some zones only certain kinds of magic work, like only elemental magic works in these zones, and everything else is a willpower roll or whatever. So it just depends on how detailed you want to make it, like in the Slee Stack thing, anything that flies freaks them out and is harder to make work because they don't do flying.
Right. Yeah. So. No, that's good. Yeah. No, everything's going to be unlimited to start, but you'll know when it changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, my character right now is super basic. I've got very, very limited number of skills and stuff, but I'm first step is explore and try to get my healing going. After that, then I'm pretty relaxed.
That was the other thing too, is I saw I mistyped it. It's hard for me to read sometimes when I'm typing fast, but because I don't type fast. No, mine's gonna be a little bit more pulpy feel. In other words, like more like the Indiana Jones type. Does that make sense? I'm not saying that time period, but it's not going to be, hundreds of demons clawing at your eyes 24/7. You know what I mean? It's going to be explore, figure out that there is a problem. What is the problem? Are you going to do anything about the problem? Are you going to resolve the problem? Or are you going to sit cool and have Mai Tais? You could do that too, whatever you want,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We should have just broadcast this shit live, because pretty much everything could go out and be of interest to somebody.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Like I said, I didn't know where it was going to go. I was not in the mindset to hardcore game talk, but.
Well, we just our normal chit chat is very fucking intertwined with gaming and stuff, because we've both been doing it for a bit. Yeah. So
we're probably pushing about 100 years between us. So.
We're so old.
Yeah. So, what else did I have for you? I only got a few more minutes.
I was figuring that.
Yeah. So, I believe in the rule of cool. So, if it makes a cool scene, I let the players.
I'm well familiar with that trope.
I'm good with.
In fact, you could even have that in the zone rules, like a cool action gets a bonus, and that's just
Absolutely. That's
flat
the
out.
stuff I want to write. I'm going to try to write it up today and get it onto the message board. Remember, I said I want. If you don't care if I make like a folder or document, I'm not versed
Just
on.
make a what,
So.
whatever you want. Yeah,
Okay.
I would for your zone. I mean, I wouldn't bother putting out like here's the zone rules and stuff. I'd let players explore that, but for like if my character gets hold of a bracelet and stuff, then I'll be on the board and just have them explore it, because all the stuff, even if it's going on in somebody else's campaign, it all feeds into it.
Yeah.
Because
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say, part of what I'm hoping for is that, that the campaign and stuff will outlive me. I'm hoping that somebody else eventually goes, yeah, or because honestly, it'd be rough, but having somebody recording the stuff and posting up, even if it's several different people and whatnot, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't fucking be around to see it probably, but it'd be nice.
Exactly. The other thing is I would like it, and I don't know if you would like this also, is I would like it to be implemented where the players incorporate their skills in their description. In other words, let's say I'm in game and I'm real suspicious about what's behind that door. I kind of lean in and, the player just rolls his listen roll and I don't hear anything, if he fails as an example, and I go ahead and open the door. I don't need to ask, give me a listen roll.
Wow. I put that down to GM style.
Yeah.
And, you could just tell people when they're like, do I need to roll or something? It's like, make a fucking roll if you want to make a roll,
Right.
I'm going to learn how you operate.
I didn't know if you were okay with that.
I don't care what you do, honestly, Ralph. You can have the normal apparel is a pink tutu, and everybody gets one when they show. I don't care, because it all fits into the whole conglomerate so well.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Just throwing it out there. I don't want to rock your boat. This is your baby, So
believe me. I mean, even if everybody gets killed, and Freddie, because honestly, if your world's like more dangerous and people are dying and shit, fine. It all fits into the world. I mean, because I know you well enough that you don't do the rocks fall, everybody dies thing.
No.
I think that one of the things that I've been working hard on, that most GMs in my experience that I've ever played, because as you know, I've had quite a bit of different GMs over the years.
Sure.
The one thing that most of them really are just dreadful at is foreshadowing. And like, for example, with the symbol, the yin yang thing and all that, how many times have I shown that? I've shown it so much that the players are bored of it.
Yeah.
Why? It's foreshadowing. Everybody knows it's foreshadowing, and I club them like baby seals with it.
That's where I was going to go next. Is I've got subtleties. That's why I was trying to warn you, or just really let Logan know, because I know Logan says I'm not a good player. I'm letting you know. Anything I show you or tell you, there's a reason for it.
Oh, that's fine.
So, and there is foreshadowing, because, like I said, I built the lattice, if you will. I didn't write detailed out epic campaign, but I've got a rough outline.
That's all you need. The rest is improv.
I want it to grow and go for seasons and seasons. So, that's my plan, at least.
I think if I was living a stationary life,
right,
one of the things I would probably do is like get into an improv class.
Yeah.
Because, at least try it out for a couple months or something. But unfortunately, I don't speak enough languages to do that. Like, hi, you're welcome to Hungarian improv class. Not great.
No, I get that, but yeah, that's Yeah, so I'm excited to run, definitely, and
Oh,
I hope it goes all smooth. I'm a little. I'm not gonna say I'm nervous. I'm excitable nervous. Does that make sense?
yes, yes.
Especially when all my shit's scattered all over and I'm trying to like, cram it all in to get it to go. So
Well, that's one of the things that I really like about this current group of players. You know, because you don't get anybody who like signs up for a GM slot or a player slot, and then I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. Not gonna do. And it's like because we've dealt with those
yeah,
people a
yeah,
lot, and I've even when I don't feel like it, like I had a cold for a while, and I'm like snotting all over the place. And it's like I'm not just going to GM. I'm going to be excited to GM, and I had to put myself in that mindset because it's like people are fucking relying on me who've signed up months ago. I'm going to fucking be there.
yeah.
You know? So yeah. Yeah. And next time we do one of these chats, even if we're just talking about, your kids and stuff, we
Yeah.
should definitely go live because one of the other neat things is sometimes people put in questions.
Oh, really? They can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I found that fucking fascinating and shit because people have a fucking hunger for live shit that confuses Logan.
Yeah. I don't know.
Seriously, it's like,
Yeah.
I could watch the raw footage or wait for it to be edited. Raw footage.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So as long as you're excited and not afraid to take some notes, for my
I'm not a huge note taker because when I'm gaming in it, it's like I've got my fucking 100 megs of notes and shit or whatever. It's like
I understand that. But the way I'm like trying to shake Logan by the shoulders here is I plan 100% to continue this. It is going to be ongoing, and you are going to be the only consistent
yes. Well, that's one of that's part of it though is like the more times that you GM, then the more notes it'll go up because that also shows that Ralph is into it. Nothing is going to get in his way because we both had the GM that a couple sessions in. It's like,
yeah, no, that used to be me. So yeah, I get it. But as you called me, the GM of great starts, but so. But anyways, like I said, it's it's not pages of notes. I'm not asking you to write, but
well,
take a couple seconds and look at,
Yeah, no, one of the things I'm going to try to do is, assuming I can get the bracelet of PC-ness and stuff, I figure if I can stick up some of the stuff in the in-game board, then that will give you two things. First, it will let you know this is what Logan paid attention to, and this is what I need to hit him over the head with more foreshadowing because he didn't think it's important enough to write down. Therefore, he missed it, which is probable. But also, since I'm going to be playing with two random people, that will also let them know, hey, this is what's going on in this campaign that you might be joining. You should read Logan's notes.
And I'm hoping to get some street cred, get some other people signing up besides Freddie and Vince. So.
Well, yeah, that part won't be a huge problem, but yeah, the notes would probably help. But yeah, I don't know. I would like to see also because I know you've got friends and stuff also that game, and so eventually maybe we can get one or two of them signed up.
Yeah, I agree.
You winced. Why did you wince? You don't like your friends?
No, when I moved out here, I just pretty much dropped everybody. About 5 years ago, just fresh start.
I didn't know if you met any fresh start people out there.
These people are, but they're people who game, but they're not gamers. Does that make sense? If they sign up, let's flip the coin. You know what I mean?
Bigger, better deal.
Yep. So, but anyways, I'm gonna have to get rolling here in a minute. Any other thoughts or?
I was gonna say, tell your family I said hi, and I hope the best for everybody and stuff.
All right. Thank you. You take care, and I'll see you in a couple of days.
Quick question. It's okay to put all this up online?
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah, Last thing, do you want to start earlier on Wednesday, or are you good with the set time? Because I'm good with like a 5 hour block if I get done here at like noon, because we do have some family stuff because it is a holiday. Are you good with like a set 5 hours of gaming?
Whatever. Most of the guest GMs tend to run long, but I'm good with where I always like to, unless bad shit happens to me, which has happened. I always try to sign on half an hour early.
Okay.
And like if I'm the only one on, you're like, Logan, do you want to start? I'll be like, shit, yeah, 8 cards, hit me.
I'm just throwing that out there because because it is a holiday and we have some stuff going on later. I'd like to just make sure it's like a hard cut, but we're going to pick it up 2 days later. You know what I mean? So
what holiday is going on there?
Thanksgiving's Wednesday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'm not in that country. I don't know when.
Oh, yeah. No, so Thanksgiving's Wednesday. And then I'm GMing on, I think that's Saturday or a couple days later. So I don't mind, if you're okay with like a hard stop and then, we just pick back up.
Yeah. That'll be up to you as a GM to figure out the good stopping point and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I was just throwing it out there. So it's just that one-off,
Sure. All good. All right. I will let you get going on your stuff, and I'll just pop this online, and away we go.
Cool. Take care. See you in a couple days.
Rocking.